So when I'm done, I'm done. I'm not gonna be like, oh.
How many do you think you have left?
Back. Less than 10.
What? Less than 10 fights? That.
You are? You surprised?
Yeah, I thought it was like 4 or 5. I thought you weren't gonna fight past 40.
Well, I know that's still less than 10.
less than 10. Okay.
Okay.
I thought it was a lot less.
I don't know, 6, 7. Now, yeah, who knows? Like, I know it's less than 10. It can't be past 10. So if I fight now, fight one more time towards the end of the year, maybe. That's 2 fights. If I do 2 fights a year, fuck. Next year I can still fight. 2028 is where I'll be like, I don't know yet. I don't know. I can't see past 2027, but I do know 2028. I don't know. I don't think that far ahead at the moment, but I do glance at it, but I don't really try and focus on it. I just know I'm on the tail end. I can see the finish line. I've been seeing the finish line in the distance, but now it's closer. But who knows at what pace will I get?
Israel Adesanya has broken his silence about the end of his legendary career. The Last Stylebender says, I can see the finish line. Israel Adesanya, ready for the final chapter of his storied combat sports journey. The former 2-time UFC middleweight champion has confirmed his retirement is closer now and likely coming by 2027. In an exclusive interview on his YouTube channel, Adesanya revealed he has less than 10 fights left in the tank.
What do you think you want to do when this is over?
So I have a plan in place because I'm an adrenaline junkie. So I know I'll need something every, like maybe thrice a year where I feel like I'm going to die. So again, if I said, okay, I'm done fighting now, then okay.
Let's start with the bombshell announcement that has the MMA world talking. When asked directly about how many fights he has left, Adesanya didn't hesitate. Quote, less than 10. It can't be past 10.
Less than 10.
What? Less than 10 fights? That.
You are? You surprised?
Yeah, I thought it was like 4 or 5. I thought you weren't gonna fight past 40.
Well, I know that's still less than 10.
less than 10. Okay. I thought it was.
To put this in perspective, at 36 years old, with a professional fighting career spanning 25 years when you include his, Izzy has over 100 professional fights on his resume. That's an incredible amount of mileage on any athlete's body. Here's how the math breaks down. Adesanya is set to fight Joe Pyfer at UFC Seattle on March 28th. If he fights one more time toward the end of 2026, that's 2 fights this year. If he maintains a pace of 2 fights per year, which has been his standard throughout his UFC run, he could still be active in 2027.
Middleweight champion Israel Adesanya versus Joe Pyfer. Adesanya, former 2-time middleweight champ, 16 of his 24 wins by knockout, and Joe Pyfer is on a 3-fight win streak. And since winning the Contender Series, all but 1 of his wins have come by finish.
But here's the key quote. 2028 is where I'll be like, I don't know yet. I can't see past 2027.
2028 is where I'll be like, I don't know yet. I don't know. I can't see past 2027, but I do know 2028.
Adesanya continued, I just know I'm on the tail end. I can see the finish line. I've been seeing the finish line in the distance, but now it's closer.
I do glance at it, but I don't really try and focus on it. I just know I'm on the tail end. I can see the finish line. I've been seeing the finish line in the distance, but now it's closer.
Now, let's address the elephant in the room. Israel Adesanya is currently on a 3-fight losing streak, the worst of his professional career. He lost his middleweight title to Sean Strickland in September 2023, then came back to lose to Dricus du Plessis in his immediate rematch attempt. Most recently, he suffered a knockout loss to Nassourdine Imavov in February 2025. For a fighter of Adesanya's caliber, someone who dominated the middleweight division for years, this has been a humbling period. But here's what's fascinating. Izzy isn't making excuses. In the interview, he reflected on the Imavov fight, saying he's watched it 4 times. Why? Quote, just to see the improvements I made, the speed, the way I was, my activity in the first round.
Against Abus, he came out and showed some more of his repertoire, his grappling, and he submitted Abus in the 2nd round. He's known for not wrapping his hands, even though wrapping your hands out to protect your hands and, you know, not for more damage. But yeah, what are your thoughts on Joe Pyfer?
I don't wrap my hands before sparring, before pass.
Even in defeat, he's analyzing, learning, studying his craft. He acknowledged the mistake that led to the knockout, noting, "You got to know where you are in the cage at all times, even for a split second."
Yeah, hindsight, you gotta know where you are in the cage at all times, even for a split second.
But here's what's remarkable. Despite this losing streak, despite being written off by some fans and media, Adesanya's mindset heading into the Joe Pyfer fight is one of complete confidence. And we'll get into that mentality shift right after we talk about what he's been doing during his year-long layoff. Listen to his passion when he talks about it. It was cool to bring the culture forward, to share the culture with people. For me, it was good to remind myself that I'm more than just fighting.
Bring the culture forward. It was cool to share the culture with people and bring Burna Boy here for the first time. After a few failed attempts, you know, with trying to bring him over to Australia and stuff, or him trying to come over here, and then through the obstacles we had to go through. And then me learning how to DJ within 4 months, and then doing a whole set in front of fucking, at the time, because I was early on the card, probably like, I don't know, 8,000 people. What else? Fucking Broke Boy's doing well.
People were coming up to his business partner all night saying it was the best concert they'd ever been to. His parents attended their first concert ever and danced the whole time. This wasn't just a side project. This was Izzy proving to himself that he has value beyond the octagon. And that's crucial context for understanding his mindset going into this final chapter. He's already building his post-fighting life. The pressure is off. He's fighting now because he wants to, not because he has to. He said it himself. "I became a UFC champion just to do this stuff. I just want to perform. I've always just wanted to perform."
That's what I do. That's what I fucking do. Let's go. And I became a UFC fighter just to do this shit. This is it.
I became a UFC champion just to do this shit. And this is it. And I was just hyped when I said that, because I was just like...
Whether it's in the cage or on stage, Adesanya is a performer at heart. And that freedom, that's dangerous for his opponents. Which brings us to March 28th, UFC Seattle. Israel Adesanya versus Joe Pyfer. For the first time in his UFC career, Adesanya entered as the betting underdog. Out of 19 UFC fights, this is the first time the odds makers are favoring his opponent. But Izzy, he doesn't care. Quote, "I've always been the underdog. I've always felt like I have something to prove."
I mean, yeah, looking at that fact, how does that affect your mindset?
It doesn't affect me, because I've always been the underdog. I've always felt like I have something to prove.
When asked about Pyfer, who's known for not wrapping his hands because he believes he has weapons of mass destruction, Adesanya's response was calm but confident. "He might, but I'll find a way. I always find a way." But here's where it gets really interesting. Listen to this quote. "I feel really good. It's different now. Certain things I can't share because I keep stuff on the low, but I feel unstoppable. I really feel unstoppable." He continued, "Everything I've done is for this moment in my life. Everything I've done in this game has been for this moment in my life now. And now that it's here, I can't be messed with."
I find a way, bro. I always find a way. And I don't know. I feel really good. Like, it's different now. Certain things I can't share because I keep shit, you know, on low. But like, it's like, I just feel unstoppable. I really feel unstoppable, because everything I've done is for this moment in my life. Everything I've done in this game has been for this moment in my life now. And now that it's here, it's like, fuck. I just feel I can't be fucked with. Nothing bothers me.
Adesanya also revealed he's looking forward to the grappling exchanges. He welcomes Pyfer trying to take him down, saying he's been training with high-level grapplers and has some good magician tricks, some black magic, if you will.
I got some good tricks. I got some good magician tricks, some black magic, if you will.
That's it. I mean, but that was the one, Joe. You said that combination extends. He's waiting for that opportunity to counter.
Ian Gary, nicknamed The Future, is the biggest threat to Islam Makhachev. Yes, you heard that right.
There's going to be no excuses from anyone on the planet. When I beat him, I have beaten the greatest pound-for-pound fighter on the planet right now. Your excuses are all finished. There's none. Don't look for them. Don't pick on them. I'll beat the #1 pound-for-pound on the planet. I'll beat a champion of the world. And then we can can start the aggressive.
As well, like it's not small well.
No, he's a big dude.
You're like,
There's no excuses, none whatsoever. When I beat Islam Makhachev and I win the world title, there will be no excuses from anyone, anywhere on the planet. End of, done. They all look for something. They all want that claim of, oh, you know, it was this, it was that. No, it couldn't have been you. It couldn't have been. That Ian's just better than you.
Polarizing guys in the UFC's welterweight division, maybe in all of the UFC.
Anybody slips up, you best believe there's a world title coming back home to Dublin, Ireland and Brazil, baby.
Is he getting a title fight next? Is Ian Gary versus Islam Makhachev the fight that is going to happen? Because it just might be. Because hear me out. Ian Gary is the #1 ranked guy on the planet, and he's beaten some tremendous fighters along the way. And of course, he took Shavkat Rakhmonov in a #1 contender matchup, took him 5 rounds, almost got the submission in the 5th round, and then since then, he's come back and the man is still fighting. Last time out, he took out Bilal Muhammad, who is the former champion. Before that, he took out Carlos Praches, one of the biggest and hottest names right now in the welterweight division. So I say it again, right now, is Ian Gary going to fight Islam? Because when you look on social media...
Ian Gary has said he is coming to beat Islam Makhachev and become the pound-for-pound #1 champion of the world. But here's the real question everyone is asking right now. Can he do it?
Oh, huge combination from Machado Gary!
Oh my goodness. It's over.
Sean may want to go home!
Wow.
On one side, we have a pure striker. 17 wins, 1 loss. 41% of his wins came by knockout. Raw, technical, dangerous.
Islam was for my father like his son. My dad always keeps saying Islam is the future champ.
And I just want to say, this my belt for my coach, Abdulmanap Nurmagomedov. Many years ago, he told me, just training hard and you're gonna be champion. And I want to give this belt. This is him and his father make me.
He can do everything.
Looking to finish this fight. It's over. It's over. Leo's out.
It is all over.
Beautiful job by Makhachev.
Great UFC debut for the Russian.
On the other side, we have Islam Makhachev. 28 wins, 1 loss, 46% of his wins by submission. A wrestling and grappling machine who can also knock you out. So can the striker Ian Gary hand Islam his 2nd career loss and become a 2-division nightmare? Or does Islam take him down and add one more name to the long list of fighters who thought they were ready and weren't? Let's find out.
Feels like he can take a lot from that camp. Gary said that he wants to be nomadic in the sense that he wants to learn from everyone.
Oh, beautiful jab.
Not how good his team is, but there is always room to improve.
He's actually going to Brazil May 21st to sort of dive into the jiu-jitsu world as only they do it.
Before we get into the matchup, let's talk about who Ian Gary actually is, because a lot of casual fans still underestimate this guy. He's from Portmarnock, County Dublin, Ireland, and yes, if that sounds familiar, it's because Ireland has become one of the most dangerous countries in the world to come from in MMA. Conor McGregor opened that door, and Ian Gary, he walked right through it.
And that's why I say I am inevitable, because the future is inevitable. I have the mindset of a champion. My brain is different, the way I think is different. This sport, this game, whatever people want to call it, for me it's fun. I'm a perfectionist. When it comes to fight, I want to be the best. All my 6 fights that I've gotten to where I am right now have been statements. My first fight was on 7 days notice against one of the best guys in the country, in Ireland, in the UK.
Gary started boxing at just 10 years old. Then, inspired by McGregor's rise, he picked up judo and earned his black belt by the age of 18. This is not just a kickboxer. This is a complete martial artist. He dropped out of college to pursue MMA full-time, had his first amateur bout at 19, and went 6-1 in the amateurs before turning pro in 2019. In Cage Warriors, the same promotion that launched McGregor, Gary went on a tear. He racked up win after win, earned the Cage Warriors welterweight championship, and by July 2021, he had a UFC contract. His UFC debut, a first-round knockout at UFC 268. Welcome to the big leagues, right?
In that camp, Gary said that he wants to be nomadic in the sense that he wants to learn from everyone.
Oh, beautiful jab.
That's how good his team is, but there is always room to improve.
He's actually going to Brazil May 21st to sort of dive into the jiu-jitsu world as only they do it.
From there, Gary went 15-0, beating guys like Gabriel Green, Song Keenan, Daniel Rodriguez with a performance of the night, Jeff Neal, Michael Page, and Neil Magny. His only loss came at UFC 310 against the also unbeaten Shavkat Rakhmonov in a title eliminator. And even then, Gary was the first fighter to ever take Rakhmonov to the scorecards. No one had done that before.
The final round, you know what? You know when you see like a wounded dog, and you know that fucking wounded dog's gonna be more venomous and vicious to defend itself? I felt that type of energy. The second you stop, it only gets worse. And it's hard in that moment. It's hard in that moment to push you, and you've got a man on top of you who hits like a truck coming down on you. You just got to keep going and know that everything will figure itself out.
He bounced back in 2025, beating Carlos Paredes, handed Paredes his first UFC loss, and then defeated former welterweight champion Belal Muhammad by unanimous decision. Right now, as of early 2026, Ian Gary sits at number 2 in the UFC welterweight rankings, and he has just announced that he has started camp for his next fight. Now let's talk about the man with the belt, Islam Makhachev.
It's going to be interesting to see who has the advantage. Oh, big left hand.
Man, this is the dream. All my life for this to world. Yeah! I'm really happy.
Born in Makhachkala, Dagestan, Russia, trained in the same wrestling and sambo system as Khabib Nurmagomedov, one of the most dominant champions in UFC history. Islam has known Khabib since childhood. They trained together, they grew up together, and now Islam has surpassed almost every record Khabib set. He is a 2-time Russian National Combat Sambo champion, a World Combat Sambo champion, and a UFC fighter since 2015.
You like or you don't like, I am best fighter in the world right now. Thank you.
Oh, that's how you time a takedown.
Yeah, that's interesting to see who has the advantage. Wow! Wow!
His record, 28 wins, just 1 loss, a first-round knockout by Adriano Martins way back in 2015. Since then, Islam has not lost. 14 consecutive wins at lightweight. Then he won the title, defended 4 times. And then, as if being the best lightweight in the world wasn't enough, he moved up to welterweight and beat Jack Della Maddalena by unanimous decision at UFC 322 to become the UFC welterweight champion too. That made him just the 11th double champion in UFC history, and with that win, Islam tied Anderson Silva's record for the longest winning streak in UFC history. 16 consecutive victories.
I thought everything was fine and dandy. I had no clue that I was now having something else in me that was illegal.
John Jones called us last night and retired. John Jones is officially retired. Tom Aspinall is the heavyweight champion of the UFC.
John Jones didn't just rise in the UFC, he conquered it. With breathtaking skill and ruthless dominance, he ruled the octagon like a legend in the making. But while the world watched his victories, an unseen battle was forming in the shadows. Blinded by success, he never realized that his own choices were quietly carving the path to his downfall, one that would erase his legacy and fracture the life he had built.
John Jones has a very fucking dark side to him. But John Jones beats the fuck out of people. When you really think about fighting, put 2 guys in a room and who fucking comes out? John Jones walks out of that fucking room every time. When you watch the video of him and Cormier, and they don't know that they're live being filmed.
Oh my God.
And Cormier says, I had to come over there and spit in your fucking face right now. Yeah. And John Jones says,
you know I would absolutely kill you if you ever did something like that.
You could never kill me.
Oh, I bet you I could.
This is the story of a champion who had everything: talent, fame and opportunity, but whose personal demons would prove to be his most formidable opponent. Let me break it down. The rise and fall of Jon Jones. July 19, 1987, Rochester, New York. A future champion was born into a family that seemed destined to produce greatness. Jonathan Dwight Jones wasn't just any kid. His father was a pastor with unwavering discipline. His mother, a pillar